Opportunity to wish everybody a very happy holiday season and a wonderful new year. As we come to the end of 2024, it might be helpful to take a hard look at where we are as a nation and how we can best go forward. And let me be honest with you in saying that we are in an extraordinarily pivotal and volatile moment in American history, and things are moving very, very rapidly. The most important point that I want to stress today is how fast our country is evolving into an oligarchic society and into two very different Americas. On one hand, we have an America that consists of less than 1,000 billionaires, not a whole lot of people in a nation of 340 million, who have an unprecedented amount of wealth and power and have never, ever had it so good. That's one America. The other America, where the vast majority of our people live, consists of tens of millions of families who are struggling to put food on the table, pay their bills, and worry that their kids will have a lower standard of living than they do.
In this video, Bernie Sanders, a senator of the United States of America, explains how there is wealth inequality in the United States of America. He terms this as oligarchy. He further explains how the United States is rapidly being controlled by a few rich billionaires. So let's listen to him as he explains further in this video. I will come back here and discuss further about it. But before we watch the video, if you haven't yet liked this video, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's watch the video together.
In the first America, the uber wealthy buy $500 million yachts, $270 million mansions. They have private islands all to themselves. They got fleets of jets to take them all over the world. And occasionally they take cool trips on rocket ships that blast off to the edge of outer space. A lot of fun. They also receive the best healthcare money can buy, and they send their kids to the very best private schools and colleges in the world. In this America, the three wealthiest men, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, own more wealth than the bottom half of our society. Three people own more wealth than the bottom half of our society. And their wealth is skyrocketing. Musk alone is now worth over $450 billion. And combined, these three men are now worth almost $1 trillion. In the other America, millions of Americans are struggling just to provide for the basic necessities of life. In this America, over 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck. Millions work for starvation wages. 85 million are uninsured or underinsured, and over 60,000 die each year because they can't afford to go to a doctor on time. In other words, we are living in a nation today where a handful of billionaires have more money than they could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, while at the same time, millions are living in desperation, fear, and are struggling to survive. But let's be clear. Our country is not just experiencing an unprecedented level of income and wealth inequality. Today, the ruling elite have brought about a situation in which we now have more concentration of ownership than we have ever had before. In other words, a small number of giant corporations have enormous control over our economy in sector after sector: healthcare, agriculture, financial services, energy, transportation, you name it. A small number of giant conglomerates control what is produced and how much we as consumers pay for their products. Unbelievably, unbelievably, just 3 Wall Street firms, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, control assets of more than $22 trillion. These 3 Wall Street firms are the major shareholders in 95% of S&P 500 companies, exerting enormous control of the largest corporations in the world. 3 Wall Street firms, unbelievable power. And that is not all in terms of what's going on today. It's not just the billionaire ownership and control over the economy and the media that should concern us. The uber rich are also buying our government. They are buying our government and undermining American democracy. Never before in our history have we seen a ruling class with so much political power. As a result of the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, billionaires and their super PACs can spend unlimited sums of money on political campaigns. And that is exactly what they are doing. You get 1 vote. They get to spend unlimited amounts of money. During the 2024 election cycle, just 150 billionaires, 150 people, spent nearly $2 billion to buy politicians who support their agenda and to defeat candidates who oppose their special interests. Billionaires who represent just 0.0005% of our population accounted for 18% of total campaign spending. My friends, that is not democracy. That is not 1 person, 1 vote. That is not what this country is supposed to stand for. In his Gettysburg Address in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln spoke about, quote, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, end quote. Well, sadly today, we have a government of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, for the billionaire class. We are in a pivotal and unprecedented moment in American history. That's the simple reality. Either we fight aggressively all over this country to create a government and an economy that works for all of us, or we will continue to move rapidly down the path of oligarchy and the rule of the super rich. The choice is clear. We must stand together for democracy and justice. Let's do it. Thank you all very much.
We hope that message set in and just makes people think about what kind of future you guys want going forward. It doesn't matter who's in office, but a lot of people have way too much power, and that doesn't really benefit anybody. So don't sleepwalk into the next 25 years if you're not going to have the control that you think you have as an American, and be mindful of what's going on around you. So that's my message. I'll catch you guys in the next division video. Have a good one. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Welcome back. So in this video, this US Senator by the name Bernie Sanders describes the United States as oligarchy. This is a system where a few rich people control resources of a country or an organization. And in this case, it is the country of the United States of America. So he explains in this video how the United States has been segregated into this 2 class of people, where we have the super rich people and we have the poor people. Now, there is wealth inequality between these 2 groups of people, in the sense that he made an example where the 3 wealthiest people, that is Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and another person, these 3 of them, their wealth combined is more than the wealth combined of half of the people of the United States of America. The bottom half of the people of the United States of America. So this shows you how the top rich people have accumulated a lot of wealth, whereas the general population are really struggling in order to make ends meet. Now, he further stated that about 60% of employees live from paycheck to paycheck. So they depend solely on their monthly earnings to be able to survive for the month. Then the next month too, they keep repeating the same cycle because there is not much for them. So he says about 60% of employees in the United States of America live paycheck to paycheck, whereas about millions of workers, they work on starvation wages. That is to say that their wages are not so high enough in order for them to be able to live better. They just survive on these wages. So this is the wealth inequality between majority of United States of Americans and the top rich people in the United States of America. Now he goes on to explain how billionaires, that is the top 5% or 0.5% of Americans, control the country of the United States of America. And he says that this is eaten into the government of America or the governance of America, because billionaires nowadays are buying the government through funding of political campaigns. He made an example of the 2024 election where about 150 billionaires contributed $2 billion in order for them to fund campaigns across the United States of America. So they fund these campaigns and then they use their ability to fund the campaign to lure politicians to conform to their policies or their whims and their caprices. So it means that it is these billionaires who are basically controlling the government now. Now he says that this is not democracy. True democracy is where each and every one in the country has a say. He says that Abraham Lincoln stated during his time that democracy is of the people, by the people, and for the people. But he says in this time and age, it is democracy is now for the billionaires, by the billionaires, and controlled solely by the billionaires. And this is very worrying in the United States of America. So he's bringing this out for the general public to get to know about how the United States of America is being controlled by billionaires. Now, I would like to tailor my points to the Black American community because we are a minority group, and so I believe that these issues were things that were bothering us, but a lot of people did not pay particular attention to it. It is now affecting a whole larger group of Americans. So it is now that some of these senators and people are bringing this up for all of us to get to know about things like this that are happening already. Let me know your general thoughts and opinions about this whole thing in the comment section below. And also don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family. Don't forget to share on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.